Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gaura Premanandi Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
गौर प्रेमानंदे जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
क्या फर्क है इनमें, क्या फर्क है? हारमोनियम, which one? Yeah, huh?
Prabhu will make a quick introduction. Quick introduction.
Maybe later.
Later? Okay. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Later. Hare Krishna.
Before class. Okay. Introduce.
That, you were playing that one, right? Yeah, let's try it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Vrinda.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama,
हरे राम राम
Rama,
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
राम राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
हरे राम
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare Jai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah
Krishna Yadavaya Namah
Hare Hare Jai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah
Amar Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan
Gopal Govinda Nam Madhusudana
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan
Gopal Govinda Nam Shri Madhusudana
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita
Advaita Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita
Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita
Shri Rup Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath
Shri Rup Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Rasa Raghunath
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath
Shri Guru Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath
Bolo Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga
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 Jai Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Jai Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Jai Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram
Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram
Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Krishna Balaram Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram
Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radhe Shyam
Jai Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam
Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radhe Shyam
Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe
Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe
Jaya Jaya Radhe Jai Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe
Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe
Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jai Gurudev Gurudev
Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Nitai Gaura Haribo
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 Haribo Haribo
Gora Haribo 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 Gora Haribo
Go Premanand
Hari Haribo
How long should we do kirtan? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jai Jai Gurudev
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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Go Premanand
Hari Bol
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Acharya Ashto Saraswata Shri Srimad Srila Vaichananand Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai Shri Krishna Balarama Ki Jai Shri Ladita Vaishakha Sahita Radha Shyama Sundara Priyam Ki Jai Go Premanande Hari Bol Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja अच्छा गाते
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
जया राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
जया राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
जया राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari
जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari
गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari
जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari
जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Yashodanandan Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana 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 Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Tiravanachari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
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 Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Jai Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
जय विष्णुपद परमहंस प्रभुगाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद शिल अभय चरणावृंद भक्ति वेदांत साईं महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नाम आचार्य शिल ठाकुर हरिदास की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा देवी की जय। तुलसी रानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। इस्कॉन बीवीथी संस्थापक आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। गो प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Wow, what a wonderful and soul-stirring kirtan, right? Yeah, I think this has perfectly set the stage to take some Krishna Katha to your heart. A little bit, and it's my honor and very privilege to introduce His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu. Just a little bit about Prabhu. Prabhuji met Srila Prabhupada at the age of 15, and he became Srila Prabhupada's disciple and joined ISKCON in 1976. So he has been following almost 50 years now, and currently serves with Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust as a Sanskrit and English translator and editor. He's a scholar of Sanskrit, Bengali, and Hindi, and is renowned for his soul-stirring traditional Bengali-style kirtans. Living in Govardhan, he continues the legacy of Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu by translating treasured Gaudiya texts such as Lagu Bhagavatamrita and Bhagavad Sandarbha. His life of simplicity, scholarship, and devotional service inspires sincere seekers worldwide. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming, and I hope we will have a short Bhagavad Gita class now. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utaparakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Madgavirapi Gopala Swikuryat Kripaya Yadi Tadaivasam Payaha Pitva Hrishyayus Tat Priyajanaha. In the end of his 10th canto commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur prays in this way. He says, "My dear Lord Gopal, only if you accept my words as your cows, will they give sweet milk and provide pleasure to your pure devotees." So we have to pray in the same way. I thought I didn't really have a topic selected to speak about tonight, but if anybody wants to hear about anything in particular, we can do that. Otherwise, I've opened the book and it came to chapter 10, text number 9. Sound good? Okay. So that is good because you know that the essence of Bhagavad Gita is considered to be these 4 seed verses, Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. I might as well just read all of them, and then we can focus on text 9. Aham sarvasya bhavavo matas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Who knows the translation? Tell me what it means. Give me the purport. What does it actually mean here? You don't have to have the translation perfect. Yes. To show special mercy, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling within their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Prabhupada used to sometimes test us like this. He was never really very impressed if people had the shlokas ready, kantastha. He just said, what does it mean? That's what you have to know at the time of death, right? Because parrots can also do this, you know. I was in Mayapur once, and I walked into a devotee's house, and they had one of these caged birds. And the first thing the bird said to me when I walked in is, Haribol! But at the time of death, if you wring the bird's neck, what's he going to do? He's just going to squawk like a parrot, right? So, all right. All right, so I said we would look at text 9. Matchitta, madgata prana, bodhayantaha parasparam, kathayantascha, Mam nityam tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. What does it mean? Mat chitta, their minds are always on me. What does chitta mean? There's a few answers here. She says, consciousness is the most generic way you can do it. It depends on who you ask. Yogis have a particular definition: mind, intelligence, false ego, antahakarana. But at any rate, whatever it is, their minds fully engaged in me, Prabhupada translates here. That should be fixed in Krishna. And madgata prana, what does that mean? Madgata prana. When you say ex-gata in Sanskrit, it means you're into that thing. So madgata prana, their lives are completely absorbed in me. That's what he says here. Kind of like in the beginning in chapter 2, when we heard a description of Duryodhana and Parthi, it was described, how are they described? Mad arthe tyakta jivitaha. For me, they've given their lives. Little did he know that just a few hours later, what he said was literally true. So madgata prana, devotees have dedicated their lives unto the Lord. And bodhayanta parasparam, they are enlightening one another, sharing their realizations with one another. And katayantascha, they do that by always talking with each other about Krishna. Katayantascha mam, nityam. Nityam is here used as an adjective. We don't know where it goes. It can go to, what do they call this? Shlesha. It can go to the verb before it, or it can go to the verb after it also. It sometimes does double duty, or triple duty in this case, because there are three verbs here. Katayantascha, tushyanticha, ramanticha. All of them, the devotees are doing equally. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada says about this. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Yeah. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder and Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Savior of the modern world, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. We have in Prabhupada's books, we come across many phrases that he repeats again and again and again and yet again. One of them is this: transcendental loving service. Why does he say like this? Usually, how do we translate? What does the word bhakti mean? What does bhakti mean? Devotion. That's the standard translation you'll find. Prabhupada is rarely satisfied to translate the word bhakti as devotion. Hardly ever you find this. What does he say instead? Pure devotional service. Or, here's another shibboleth: transcendental loving service. He wants to pack as much realization into his phrase as he possibly can. Now, why does he say these three words? Transcendental loving service. Think about it. Number one, what is the substrate of bhakti, according to chapter 18? At what point do you get param bhakti? Mad bhaktim labhate param? Who knows the verse? Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. That means that the substrate of pure devotion is actually Brahman realization. And he's already described in the previous verses. This is what, 1854 now? So he's already described in several verses prior to that just what exactly characterizes that Brahman realization. But Brahman realization means I know that I'm spirit. In order to know that you are spirit, that is to say, in order to identify with spirit, first of all, you have to understand what spirit is. You have to understand the nature of spirit. What is the nature of spirit? Sat, Chit, Ananda. These are another shibboleth that we find throughout the Vedic literatures, but we don't really think about. What is this? You have to be eternal. You have to be conscious, aware, and you have to be happy. This is Brahman realization. Why do you have to keep dying? We don't even ask the question, do we? We don't even notice it's happening until you're out. We were saying the other night in Houston, कि धनानि भूमौ पशवश्च गोष्ठे नारी गृहद्वारे जनाः स्मशाने देहश्चेतायां परलोकमार्गे कर्मानुगो gachati jiva eka. What does it mean? Dhanani bhumau. Your money will stay in the bank. Bhumau actually means in the earth because, used to be people kept their money buried. Sometimes we wonder if that's not a better idea. Especially if you bank with HDFC, sorry to say. Anyway, Dhanani bhumau pashavashta goshte. We don't really have animals. We don't value animals anymore because we're so far removed from nature. We value our automobiles. So we can update the translation and say that your car will stay in the garage. If she knows religious principles, your wife will come only as far as your front door or your front gate. If you live in a gated community, she'll not come further than that because that's the injunction of the Shastra. And your friends will come where? Janaha smashane. They'll come to your funeral, even if only to be polite. And what goes further than that? What goes further than the funeral? Your body. Where does your body go? On the chitta, my friends. It's going to be burnt up. Nobody else will go there, right? Not even your closest friend will join you there. Correct? Hey, no? Okay. So, but paraloka marge, once you're on the path to the next world, karmanu go. If you have trod upon the path of karma, gachati jiva ekaha. You're going on alone. Can't take any friends with you. Can't take any money with you. No assets. Kuch nahi. Only thing you can take with you is your karmic debits and credits. Hopefully, if you have some good karma. Really, only those things. I mean, what really? It's making noise. What carries those things along with us? Vasanas, samskara. Like when we print a book, right? Pratama samskarana, dvitiya samskarana, ityadi. So we have samskara means the impression. Every activity that you perform makes an impression on your psychology. It forms your mindset for the next life. And of course, there's that bill. You also have to pay that bill. Or receive whatever the credits are there also. You have to come back for that too. So just to have good or bad karma is not necessarily the greatest thing because it means you're coming back to this world again. And what is the nature of this world according to Bhagavad Gita? Krishna, what does he say? Dukhalayam ashashvatam. It's full of misery and it's temporary. Now, why would he say that? Why is it, let's just consider for a moment. Why is it dukhalaya? Why? I think it's pretty good. I'm sitting here in, what is this neighborhood called? Austin. I've got a nice brand new house and, all shiny things. And especially if I'm from India, you can hardly get this. So why is this world considered to be dukhalayam? Hey, think about it. You have to be born. Why do the babies always scream? Not only the babies, even the mothers are also crying. That's not an easy thing to undergo birth. And it's like a factory reset, no? All the stuff that you did in your last life, all the psychological, you can't remember any of it. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are. You don't know what to do, but you know it hurts because you have this physical consciousness. That's birth. And then, of course, jata sihi dhruvo mrityur dhruvan janma mritasya. If you've died, you're going to take birth. And similarly, if you've taken birth, you will eventually die. How many ways can you die? One of my godbrothers put it very graphically. It's one thing to talk about death theoretically while we're sitting in an air-conditioned room in Austin, Texas, comfortably, and not too hungry yet. He says, it's one thing to talk about, say, you know, how many ways can you die? Being electrocuted. But it's another thing altogether to hold a wet knife into a socket. That's called swanubhavam. Yes, swanubhavam akhila shruti saram ekam. There's only one thing in this Vedic literature, he says in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is swanubhavam, your own experience. What is your experience? And when we're in animal consciousness, that's called abodhajata, just like animals. Just thinking about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And people who only think about these four things, they only get the other four things. Birth, death, and what else? Jara. I can tell you about this. How many people? We had not too many elders here, it seems. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. If you're older than 65 or so, you know, you already know. Things are starting to disassemble. I found out I had cataract. Yeah, these are the things that come. Or, you know, all sorts of things. We all have our own, you know, custom tailored set that you're going to have to deal with. All the little things that bother you now, they turn into big things later on. Yeah, it's true. After 50, everything starts to decline. So, you know, that's why the gray hairs come gradually, because every day there's a new one, and it's supposed to be a little hint. Hey, remember? It's coming. Jara. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, and all through the whole process, all three stages, what do you get? Vyadhi. Yeah, I know. I've suffered from health problems my whole life. About 2 years ago, I don't know how, somehow I got typhoid. Raise your hand if you've ever had typhoid. Typhoid, yeah, in India sometimes we get it. Break bone fever, they call it. You know why? Because it feels like somebody lied you down on the sidewalk and took a sledgehammer to every single bone in your body. That's what it feels like. I was so weak I couldn't even lift my thermos to drink water while my body dehydrated. And even if I could, I couldn't unscrew it. And to this day, 2 years later, I still can't reach in some places that I used to be able to reach. Just vyadhi. And that's just one thing. How many other things? I was in the hospital taking care of my elderly parents, both of them, before each of them died separately. And, you know, it was one thing to see your father deteriorating and you know, your mother disintegrating right in front of your eyes. But, you know, I was looking around and seeing all these people in various stages of psychophysical disintegration. Somebody's lost his mind, somebody can't control his bowels, somebody else is having a heart attack, another person has asthma, and another person has gone crazy. Just, you know, the one devotee in Los Angeles, she woke up one day and went, just like we take for granted, right? You go to the bathroom and you brush your teeth, you look in the mirror, you shave, whatever you have to do. She woke up and she was trying to get to the bathroom, but she realized that she didn't have any eyes anymore. No eyes. Blind. We were in Houston. Anybody know the city of Houston very well? You know where Bridgeland is? It's a big subdivision like this one. Probably it's got to be a school district that's pretty good. Otherwise, all the Telugu people wouldn't go there. है ना? आजकल अमेरिका में तेलुगु का आक्रमण हो रहा है ना? ऐसा लगता है कि if you've been to Dunwoody, Georgia, anybody in the IT sector, you know about this? Alpharetta, Georgia. Yeah, everybody knows. Dunwoody is where all the Alpharetta employees live. And it's pretty, as far as I can tell, it's 100% Bharatiya log. But of those, it's at least 98% Telugu. They've all been to Chilukuru, and they've all worshipped Balaji and got the visa. But they don't know that it's a setup. You get to America and ISKCON is there. Hare Krishna. Take Bhagavad Gita as it is. And don't leave it as it is. Read it as it is. So this is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Every stage there's some problem in this world. It's not so good. You may be having a good time right now, just like I remember when I was in anybody here in their Jupiter period? It's pretty cool when you're in Jupiter. But wait until you get into Saturn or Ketu or Rahu. That's when people become quadruple paraplegics. That's when they get carjacked. That's when their wife runs off with somebody else. All these things happen, no? They do happen in this world. It all seems like it happens to somebody else because somebody else is in the bad period, suffering under the Krura Graha. When it's your turn, anybody ever heard of this book called Shani Mahatmya? Yeah? Yeah, Vikramaditya, that whole story. You've all heard of this? Yeah, some have heard. It's too long to really summarize, but oh my God. The things that you can undergo when you're under the thumb of one of these planets who's just ready to administer your bad karma. It's not that the planet, I mean, we call them Krura Grahas, right, in Jyotish, but it's not that they're actually cruel. The thing is that karma is cruel. Your fate, the things that we have done, the bad things that we've done, I should say, they're going to fructify one day. Because karmic life is like planting a seed. Every activity you perform is like planting a beej. We say karma beej. And then what happens when you plant a seed and assume that the soil is fertile, the sunshine is there, the seed is good? What happens? It fructifies. For sometimes the seed it has fructified already, but it has not come above the ground yet. What's that called? Bija. Yeah, anyway, the seed has fructified, and there are 3 stages. Once you plant the seed, that is performing the activity. The seed is there, it's under the ground, but it is not fructified yet. Then when it fructifies, it's going to start coming. It's almost ready to sprout, but it's not yet sprouted. Yeah, Kutasta, I think it is. Yeah. Then you get the, what is the next one they call it? Well, basically there are 2 divisions. There are aprarabdha karma, prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means whatever's on the docket for this life. It's a set amount of karma. Likhitam api lalate pronchitam kaha samartha. Hitopadesh tells us. Whatever's written on your forehead, it doesn't matter if you move from Mumbai to Kolkata, your forehead is going with you. And there's an indelible barcode that only the Devatas can read, and they know, okay, this one is for Shani right now, send him. And then you go through all this stuff. All of us are under the thumb of Daiva, fate. So this is what any birth in this material world entails. We have to undergo suffering in various ways. So, Srila Prabhupada is explaining here that, we were talking, about transcendental loving service, right? So the thing is, to transcend this world means to realize that I actually don't have to keep doing this. I don't have to keep coming back. I'm not part of this by nature. I'm not obliged to be here and do this thing, where I have to keep dying every once in a while just when I get all my assets together and all my, everything is good. And then the body starts rotting while you're still in it. And when it becomes impossible to tolerate, we call that death. I went to Guru Vayur. Raise your hand if you've been to Guru Vayur. Yeah, okay. So, sometimes he's really hard to see. And now, because my eyes are rotting and I need new glasses, I went there and could hardly see him. Very difficult. Durlabha Darshan, he's called. Anyway, this is the nature of material bodies, and why you settle for this material body, because you've forgotten that you have another alternative. That alternative is to live in your reality of Satchit Ananda. And you can do that even as a human being. In fact, you can do that only as a human being. Yeah, we were in Bridgeland, Houston. That's what I was going to say. So one of the little Bridgeland ducks is walking around, and I'm looking at this little guy. He's just he's crossing the street, and in that place, everybody stops to let the ducks pass. So, I'm just looking at this guy and just thinking, oh my God, what would it be like to have a beak only to work with? Think about it. No hands, no intelligence, They don't even have feet, really. They have these web things. They waddling across the street, and he has to do everything with his beak only. He has to drink water with his beak, whatever. He can only eat, and there's no teeth in that beak also. What a limited existence. Why do we have to put up with that? You did put up with it. Do you remember? Everybody here was once Brahma. Do you believe that? Some people are not sure. It's described when we take birth in this material world, the first birth that we get is the highest one possible. Because when you're a first-time offender, you only get a slap on the wrist, right? So everybody takes birth as Brahma. But what happens when you get any kind of birth in this world? Then we get bewildered very quickly, because it seems like all my dreams are, the sky's the limit. And I can come to, I can even visit Niagara Falls. I'm sure you've all gone there, because, it's like, it has to be done. Yeah. Karna padega. So, we get intoxicated by this world very quickly, because it seems like it's going to give us what we need to see. It always seems like it's just around the corner, but then suddenly something massive comes up, and all your plans are ruined. That happens all the time. So this is what we're talking about when we say we have to become transcendental. It means to realize that I have a spiritual identity, to realize what is that spirit, how can I realize that spirit while I can. Remember in Seattle, we had these cards, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And there was a caption beneath this Maha Mantra. It said, please chant this Maha Mantra while you can. Supposed to make you think. Jabalagatana me tapana vyape tabalaga kari hari seva ek madhya yogin kavine kahayasa. You got a good working mind and body, then you got to use it while you can for what it's worth, and this is what it's worth. You have a chance for mukti. You have a chance to realize the love that you're looking for in all the wrong places. Through bhakti, you have that chance. And mainly through this chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Sankirtana. We'll get to that in a moment. Not even one sentence into the purport yet. In fact, I haven't even finished this phrase. Transcendental, hona chahiye. You have to realize Brahma. That's the first thing. And then Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. What are the symptoms of that? First thing, nashochati. You're not whining and complaining and blaming everybody else. Instead, and that's the other thing. We're not there yet. Shochati. What does Shankaracharya say about this? What does it mean literally? To worry or to complain or to cry. Really, it means to cry. He says, those who are constantly doing this, he has a word for them. Do you know what that word is? Shudra. That's what he says. Shankaracharya is heavy. And now we have all this diversity, equity, inclusion stuff. Nobody's allowed to say that. But anyway, so Brahmabhuta, this is the point. You should become spiritually realized while you can, and that spiritual realization entails at least one kind of liberation, maybe entry-level liberation, we can call it. Default, liberated status is at least you realize Brahman. So that's transcendental. Then what's the next aspect? Transcendental and loving. Bhava hona chahiye bhi. Bhava. And Krishna tells us about this in chapter 4, text 10, which someone here will recite for me. Chapter 4, text 10, Bhagavad Gita. I'll give you a hint. Vita raga bhaya krodha. Good. What's your name? Kya? Samanvita. Wow, that's a fancy Sanskrit name. Okay. So? Jorse. Yeah, puta, when you're purified then madbhavam agata, then you get this bhakti. Means you, basically it means you have to become Brahman realized first. It's another way of coming at the same angle. And the symptom is there, na shochati, and as you said, na kankshati. What does that mean? Koi akanksha nahi hona chahiye. You had no expectations. This is the thing they say now, right? No expectations. Because, you know, our frustrated expectations lead us where? To frustration and anger. The three things that Krishna mentions, raga, bhaya, krodha. These are the things he says we have to become purified of. And how do we become purified of these things? Jnana tapasa. Why jnana tapasa? Because why is knowledge and austerity? Tell me. We mentioned already, you have to pick up the book and read it. You can't just leave it as it is. Sometimes we go to people's houses and it's still shrink wrapped, sitting there on the bookshelf. They never even opened it. And then you ask them, yeah, Bhagavad Gita, we know everything. Mm-hmm. Hey, so knowledge is an austerity because first of all, you have to acquire that knowledge. You have to exert the strength required to lift the book and turn the pages. But you also have to exert some mental strength because you can't just skim through Srila Prabhupada's books. He says things that make you think. If you just skim through it, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you think about why do you say that? What does that really mean? How do I apply this? This is this is conscious, this is sentience. Awareness only. So, you know, this is the thing that we're purified by the austerity of knowledge. And secondary austerity of knowledge, once you understand what you have read, then what do you have to do? You have to make a decision, don't you? Am I going to get up early in the morning or am I going to sleep in? Am I going to stop my non-vegetarian habits? Sneha fresh chicken, for those of you who are from Hyderabad. Every 10 feet they have one, it seems. Either that or Lakshmi wine stores. You know this, you're from Hyderabad. Yeah, everywhere. I mean, I don't know, you know. Do they take some drug that makes them crave after this stuff? I don't know. Anyway, so you have to apply that knowledge. Means you have to make some decisions. And you have to, you know, in other words, you just have to not be a hypocrite, in other words. I heard somebody was in India, somebody was talking about this. The Christians, Pakka preaching organization, very skilled at it, especially from the Southwest. My God, it is like there's a new church every 10 feet, it seems. And Muslims, they have their madrasas and their things are going up every 20 feet. And they're very well organized and they're getting funding and the people are enthusiastic about it. Hindus, what are they absorbed in? Yeah. Tanga Malegai Chennai Silk se, if you're from Tamil Nadu. But you know, just they're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about their kids. We did a program in Satangulam, Tamil Nadu. Anybody know that place? This is Tiruchendur district. One small Mariamman temple. And we were fortunately able to broadcast our program throughout the entire village, so everybody heard. In the beginning, there were some 30 or 40 curious villagers who came, and, you know, they're just checking us out. By the end of the program, the crowd had swelled to 3 or 4 or maybe 500 people. Why? One man came up and told us, you know, we're Hindus, we want to be Hindus, but we don't know what it means to be a Hindu. Nobody's ever told us. Well, we only know that Hindu means you go to the koil, you eat pongal, you go home. So, you know, this is the problem. You know, social infrastructure must be replenished for every generation. If you let one generation go by without transmitting whatever you have received, then it might as well have never existed because they're not going to get it. Only one source of getting this, the next generation, have only one source of getting it, and that is you. And this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bharate bhumete hoilo, manusya janma jar, janma shartha kori, koro parupakar. Bengali language. Means, whoever's taken birth in Bharatbhumi, you have to do something for the world. How do you do that? You preach Krishna consciousness according to your realization, not above your head. That's counterproductive if you preach over your head. But whatever you appreciate, you share that with somebody else. Jare dekhe tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Amar agyai guru hoya tare desh. Means, you become some kind of shiksha guru you can be. But you have to, first thing is first. We have these subordinate verb constructions in Indic languages, right? So, janma sartha kori, koro paropakar. Sartha kori, janma sartha kori, that has to come first, correct? Yeah, you can't do that first and say the other one is, no. Koro paropakar cannot come first. Physician, heal thyself, as they say. Otherwise, somebody's going to point at you and say, mityachara sa uchite. Who points and says that? Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, he says that. All right, so transcendental, loving means we have to have bhava. And that means we have to have, number one, realized what is spirit and I come to identify with spirit. Number two, we have to have purified ourselves of all of our nonsense through cultivating the austerity of knowledge and, getting rid of raga, bhaya, krodha. And then we can actually begin to really cultivate real bhakti, or as Krishna says, param bhakti in that verse, pure devotional service. I didn't get to the third austerity of knowledge. I only mentioned two. One, you have to cultivate the knowledge. Two, you have to apply the knowledge. Three, you share. Yeah, it should be obvious by now. So this is what he says in chapter 4, text 10, which you can read in your spare time. I highly recommend it because Srila Prabhupada's purport to that verse is unique and it is totally original. Normally, I like to point out for everyone that whatever Prabhupada writes in his purports, he's not just inventing it out of whole cloth. I know this because I've read every major commentary in Sanskrit on Bhagavad Gita. And most of the time what Prabhupada is writing is paraphrasing what everybody else also says. Everybody. Doesn't matter. Ramanuja Sampradaya, Madhvacharya Sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya, they're all saying basically, even Shankaracharya to a large extent agrees. So this is unique in that Prabhupada wrote that purport because it had to be written for the 20th century, and only Prabhupada could have written it, and it could only have been written for us. So take advantage of that. Chapter 4, text 10. That's not where we are today. I don't know how far we're going to get today, frankly, because still haven't finished the first sentence. Transcendental loving service. This is the third word, right? You have to do something. Anybody here know the name of Velukuri Krishnan? Tamils will know this. Yeah. So we stayed in his ashram in Alvar Tiranagari. And his trust is called Kinchit Karam Trust. Anybody knows Sanskrit knows what that means? Do something. Don't just sit there. Do something. So like we said, the Muslims are very busy trying to erase our faith and culture. The Christians are doing likewise. The communists are doing the same thing. The multinationals are doing the same thing. What are you doing? And you think you got independence in 1947. Same people are still enslaving you who got your grandparents and great-grandparents. What about your kids? What will be left for them? Harsh things to think about. So this is the austerity of knowledge. But transcendental loving service we're talking about today, Srila Prabhupada is saying, I'll continue. We're talking about devotees engage themselves always in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse perfectly. 4 things. What are they? Matchitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayata Parasparam, Katayantascha. Now, what is the result of these 4 things? If you do these things with full attention, with full dedication, what is the result? Tushyanticha, Ramanticha. Those seem to be more or less synonymous if you know Sanskrit, correct? What is exactly the distinction? Anybody know? You have to have studied the commentaries to understand this. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, with regard to Tushyanti, the devotees, even in a neophyte state, that would be all of us, in case you haven't realized it yet. You know, because in the beginning, everybody has the pure devotee syndrome, right? You know, they're all in Maya. Only I know what's going on. And I'm so advanced, they just haven't recognized my glories yet. But, you know, as we persevere in devotional service, and especially as we hear from bona fide sources, and we begin to realize, hey, I've got to shape up. Because, yeah, it's a different thing. The reality is different. But I lost my train of thought. Tushyanti. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that even in our neophyte stage, if we have an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, to sit together like this, even once a week only, I'm okay with that. Take prasadam, hear something, Tushyanticha, that they're satisfied with that. We should be satisfied that we have this opportunity, as we said before. Jabalagataname ityadi. So, because in some places, what if you were born in Pyongyang? How do you think you would be able to do these things? No. Even if you were born in Rawalpindi also. No, sir. Sorry. In a great part of the world, you don't have this opportunity. And you may not always have this opportunity also. About 15 years ago, I was living in Govardhan Hill, as he said. That's about 15 years old, that thing, I think. You know, and then I decided to visit my mother. And I was only planning to stay for 2 weeks, but when I was there, she had a massive stroke and heart attack. She was comatose. The doctor called the person who's got the power of attorney and said, you know, you all better talk among yourselves and do what you need to do. Everybody here will go through this, so just listen up. This is not mythology. This is not Hindu stories. This is nothing, you know, old-fashioned bhajan nonsense. This is reality. So, you know, we had to do something. And my poor mother she was in a coma for like 6 months. Finally, she came out. But by then, she was totally invalid. She had to learn how to walk all over again, had to learn how to talk all over again. Why won't this happen to you? There's no reason whatsoever. Why you're not the next one who gets killed on a freeway, God forbid. But it does happen. There was a friend of ours in New Dwarka, Los Angeles. He was just coming home from work one day, and, you know, he's on the freeway and his heart exploded. So, you know, these things do happen, and suddenly, and we're never ready for it. It's always too soon. So, Tushyanticha, be satisfied that you have this opportunity and take advantage of it while you can. Now, what about Ramanticha? What does that mean? Ramanticha is a little bit more intense. Yeah. Why? Why does he say this? What is the difference? Even in the neophyte stage, we're satisfied that we at least have the opportunity to perform whatever little service we're willing to do. But what about in the advanced stage? That's when you get Ramanticha. They really enjoy, he says, at that point. That's the significance. Otherwise, these verbs, it would, you know, Sanskrit does not like redundance. That's considered a literary flaw. And it doesn't, you know, it's not really, doesn't happen. So there has to be something here, and this is what the commentaries tell us. Tushyanticha, they are so happy to have the opportunity to render service, even in any stage, whatever stage they're coming, even if you only appreciate prasadam, that's okay. Just continue to take it. I've seen it work like that. But when we really make advancement and we begin to see the depth of pure devotional service, and we begin to experience what we've called already as bhava bhakti, which Krishna says does happen if you go through this process, then Ramanticha, then we really enjoy because we meet with other pure devotees and these things are going on. Same 4 things that we can do from the very first day, of Krishna consciousness, we are still doing, even when we're perfectly liberated, pure devotees in Goloka for that matter. There's really nothing else than this, but it is a question of appreciation. As Radhanath Swami often points out, attitude of gratitude. I have to be grateful for the opportunity and appreciative of what this process really is. So it happens through these, just by following these things. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. I think that this is Srila Prabhupada's way of paraphrasing what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells us, as I've just explained. But it's not so easy to see that unless you're aware. Once situated in that transcendental position, this is back to Brahman realization, right? Brahmabhuta. They can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. That is to say, you enter Krishna's Leela. It's possible. Lord Chaitanya likens the transcendental devotional service to the sowing of a seed in the heart of the living entity, just like you sow a karma beej. When you come to this program, when you take a little prasadam, when you chant a little bit, hear something, you're also sowing a seed or watering the seed. It works, the mechanics are the same. Mahamaya or Yogamaya, they work the same way. And to an outsider, he can't see, can't see any difference. But experience, personal experience, that is the difference. You will experience that difference if you follow it. You cannot just, take pictures of a bottle of honey, write reports on it, interview people who know about it, study it under a microscope, all these things, and it will not help you. Taste a honey baba. Just taste it. This is Krishna consciousness also. It works like that. So, there are innumerable living entities traveling throughout different planets of the universe, and out of them there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of the living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies, just as the seed of the tree fructifies with regular watering. Asavana Jala Sinchi Prema. What is that? Anybody know this one? Mirabai Bhajan. Asavana Jala Sinchi. Yes, exactly. So yeah, this is the idea. So the spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters the Brahmajyoti effulgence in the spiritual sky. That means even if you don't have this Brahman realization first, you're going to get it by doing these things. So really, all you have to do is chant and be happy. Just take prasadam, hear something, hote, all these things will happen. So why is that other information given? Just to let you know, this is the schedule, like GPS. That's how it works. So in the spiritual sky also, that plant continues to grow more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as a plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits. We call this prema phala, the fruit of love of Godhead. And the watering process in the form of hearing and chanting goes on. The plant of devotional service is fully described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What's wrong with you guys? You're okay? Okay. Madhya Lila, chapter 19. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. Then he cannot live for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. That sounds to me a lot like what we've already described. Madgata prana, Does it sound like that? I think so. Asakti, this is called. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees, as stated in the Bhagavatam itself. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there's nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation even. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. That's why people are so confused about spiritual life. They don't read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is called Nigama, what is that? Yeah, Nigama Kalpa Taroho Gavatam Phalam, the ripened fruit of all the tree of the Vedas. We have two branches, right? Agamas, Nigamas. These are two branches of Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of these things. It is, you know, if the Vedas are compared to a desire tree, then the fruit of that tree is Srimad Bhagavatam. And thus the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. What does Rupa Goswami therefore pray for? Yuvatinam yatha yunam cha yuvatau yatha, manoabhiramatam tadvan, manome ramatam tvayi. May my mind take pleasure in you, just as young boys and girls naturally take pleasure in each other's company. This is a hint only of the ultimate zenith of this pure love of Godhead that we're discussing. Very spontaneous and very intense and very sweet. Madhurya. Okay, so maybe we can stop here, but if anybody has any questions or comments or doubts, yeah, please.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for ecstatic kirtan and wonderful class. So my question is like, so when we are relishing, right, or doing services and spontaneous bhakti, we feel like...
Are we?
No, like whatever...
When? Okay.
Yeah, whenever we feel that.
Just wondering.
So that time often wants that like you have to do your duties, whatever the family duty, all those things. So that caution comes. So how to draw that?
How to?
Draw a line.
Draw a line between your duties and your spontaneous attraction. Yeah, this is a perennial question. You know, people tend to assume, because they've only heard Mayavad, impersonalism, so people tend to assume that it's either Krishna consciousness or my mundane life. You know why? Because they see mundane life in terms of material enjoyment only. That's why. And why do they see mundane life as an opportunity only for material enjoyment? Because they've heard too much impersonalism, which teaches that that's what it is. It's mithya, what is it? Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya. Sorry, it's the fan. But if we hear from Bhagavad Gita, we see that throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is continually encouraging Arjuna to do what? What is Krishna continually urging Arjuna to do? Fight. Yeah, it's very clear. He's not telling, Arjuna is the one who's saying he wants to run off and smoke ganja with the Ramanandis. Sorry, anybody from that tradition. But, you know, this is the misconception that is created by impersonal philosophy. People think that it's either bhakti or, you know, the material world. But no, that's why Krishna chose Arjuna to speak this Gita to, because Arjuna was so responsible. And Arjun did not, Krishna did not want Arjun to shirk his responsibility, but rather he wanted Arjun to embrace his responsibility in a higher level of consciousness. That Arjun, it's not about enjoying the kingdom. Arjun had this misconception, right? Bhokshyamapi haloke. He's thinking this is the purpose of this fight. No, sir. And what does Krishna tell him? No, you have to do your duty, but you have to do your duty as service to me. That's the detachment. That's what we should be understanding as nishkama karma. So, you know, a devotee who really understands this philosophy becomes even more responsible, even more attentive, even more productive, even more appreciated also, therefore, in society. I lived here in Austin 30 years ago. Nobody knows this. I went to school in UT. At that time, we were having programs in my apartment just like this. And at the same time, I was doing puja about 2 or 3 hours a day and another 2 hours for japa, because we take that vow. I was taking between 9 and 15 hours every semester, and I maintained a 3.9 GPA because of focus. So, you know, and I they paid for my whole graduate education was paid for because of that. So, you know, it's not that it's either Krishna consciousness or your mundane responsibilities, but what has to go is the ugly, frankly, mentality that, you know, this is all for me. That's the only thing that really has to go. The activity should stay the same. Is it clear?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Somebody this side. And only in bhakti can you have this. It's not possible in any other. Yoga will not give it. Jnana will not give it. Certainly impersonalism doesn't give you. Only bhakti accommodates this. How do you be spiritual and, you know, involved with the world at the same time? This is a question people are always asking this. So the only way is to take these things, everything at your disposal, and offer it to Krishna in devotional service. That means recognizing that Krishna is a person. That is the really pivot. And people who don't want to recognize that Krishna is a person because they want to be the supreme person, they can't do this, and therefore they're frustrated. Therefore they say, no, they invent all this irresponsible nonsense. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. I was the Sanskrit grammar redundancy clicked.
The Sanskrit what?
The grammar redundancy that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That clicked because today morning I was reading about how Shaunaka rishis were addressing Suta Goswami, and they said Suta, and there are multiple instances.
Oh, that's different.
How do you differentiate between this redundancies and how do you take the next?
This is even in Hindi, right? Radhe Radhe. This is
Bhakti. Is it just the intensification?
No, this is Sambodhana, bas. This is, when you're feeling emotion, then you can say things twice. It happens. Vipsa, we call it.
So that doesn't come in redundancy.
No, that's not alliteration.
So that's a one word. That's one word, or still two words.
No, repetition is different than redundance.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's a purpose to that repetition, which is different than the purpose that you've stated elsewhere, then it's fine. That's just, it's an intensifier, shows emotion. Sambodhana. Is it clear?
Yeah, somewhat, I guess.
When we're feeling intense, Krishna, Krishna Mahayogin, right? There's so many verses are like that. Deva, Deva, Jagatpate. It happens again and again. It's an address, and it is to express the emotion. Now, you have to study a little bit. It's
sure, yeah.
That's why they say a little learning is dangerous.
Yeah, it just connected because I just read that there, so that's why.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else on the topic? Yeah.
Prabhu, you mentioned in the purport, right, that Bija will go and breach, breaks into Brahma Jyoti and finally reaches to Golok Vrindavan. So somewhere I heard that we need not aspire for that, go to Goloka, and we need to do just whatever prescribed duties our Diksha Guru gave, like 16 rounds, and do service and sadhana, whatever, reading and all. So can you explain that, Prabhu?
Yeah, I think we have to differentiate here between following the order of the spiritual master and performing our prescribed duties in the mundane realm. Because performing your prescribed duties and being dedicated to that with the consciousness of trying to enjoy the fruits of those duties, that is not good. It's not that you reject your duties, but you change your consciousness. That's the idea. To follow the instructions of the spiritual master, that's never going to be mundane. That's a function of bhakti. If the spiritual master tells you to engage in your varnashram dharma, then that's bhakti also. It's like f of x equals x, correct? It's a function of your eternal constitutional position. And in fact, it becomes devotional service because it's been ordered by Krishna's representative. Whether Krishna tells you directly to do something, to fight, as Arjun did, or whether his representative tells you Krishna wants you to fight, with the koi fark nahi, right? So that's how it is. But we shouldn't take it at any time. We should not take it to be mundane. It's not. Otherwise, how does anybody get any inspiration to carry on in this world? It's hellish. Everybody dreams about quitting their job, right? Admit it. And even if you don't dream about it, then you get the pink slip. They send you out the door of the box and you can't get back in again, right? So, you have to do well in this world. You have to work at it. You have to put your consciousness into this. He's always telling Arjun this. Free from lethargy, free from egoism, free from attachment, fear, anger, all these things. Fight. But don't give up. Just elevate your consciousness beyond this animalistic platform of trying to get something for yourself. Put it on the divine platform. Do your duty, but do it for God. Clear. And mainly that comes through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we get the kind of bhava bhakti that Krishna mentioned in chapter 4, text number 10, in case you're taking notes. And it's the kind of blissful absorption that we're discussing in this verse tonight. So many things. I mean, I live in Vrindavan. I can tell you so many things about the nectar of Krishna consciousness. Hote, hote. All right, anything else? No? Samanvita, any question? Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for wonderful
idea.
class.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So in the Brahmabhuta Prasannatma stage, we got the realization that we are soul, right,
Yes.
Prabhu? So that time we are in the satisfaction stage, but the joy may not be there? Or?
Yeah, depending on how you define it. Yeah, generally that's the weakness of mere Brahman realization. If you stay at that level of only, Brahma Bhutoham, that's okay, but it's kind of like taking an airplane. Everybody wants to get away from it all, right? You just hop on a plane and just fly away from it all. But, what if they tell you you're not coming home again? Just stay up there. It's okay, You're not so happy with that, right? So this is the problem with Gyan alone. When I was in college, simple thing, but it's very profound. They taught me that theory is no longer theory once you apply it. Which means that Gyan is by nature hypothetical. You cannot apply it. That's why I said the only way to apply Gyan is in bhakti. If you stay on the non-devotional platform and try to apply your Gyan, it becomes back to karma again. You open an eye hospital, or you do give some mundane charity or something, planting trees and all these things. But if you're doing bhakti in divine consciousness, you stay on the spiritual platform and you elevate everything that you touch to the same spiritual platform. That's described in chapter 4, text 24. Who knows that one? Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagno. Yeah. Yeah, but we need to think about these things. What does it really mean? If the spiritual master says, implement varnashram, that means it's no longer a mundane thing because it's now bhakti. It is temporary. It will always stay that way. Just like our body is also temporary, no? But that doesn't mean it's material. If you're giving everything to Krishna, then the body is also like Prabhupada gives the analogy, it's like a red hot iron. If you hold a red hot iron into the forge, it becomes very, very hot. Orange, red, white hot. Throw it onto a pile of straw, fire. It acts like fire, but it's not fire, it's iron. This is what the material body is like when it's spiritualized. This is what the whole world can be like once we spiritualize it, and we have to do that.
So when we say transcendental, generally we think it's going beyond the modes, but it includes everything beyond that stage. Like,
well, the thing is that, Brahma Bhuta, this static conception of Brahma Bhuti, Brahmanubhuti, that is, it is very, it's vague. And it's needlessly vague because the actual reality of spiritual existence is all this devotional service that's going on in Vaikuntha. There's so much bliss going on there. Anybody here from Chennai? Raise your hands. No? Some. So, you go south on the way to Mahabalipuram and you see Nitya Kalyanam Perumal. Have you seen him? Every day he's getting married. But it's not mundane. That's bliss. And it's bliss for him, and it's also bliss for the daughters of Gala Rishi. They all fell in love with Lord Varahadev. And they all married him every day. Nitya Kalyana Perumal. So, there's a devotional service. What to speak of Vrindavan? It's just... Anyway. Yeah, so we have to find activity and absorption that will keep us on that Brahman platform. Otherwise, we'll come down to the material level again. It's absolutely necessary. I mean, to say, hona padega. So, not hona chahiye, hona padega. So, this is the thing. Have to engage in devotional service. Anything else? Is it satisfying? Somebody here?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I like to chant Prabhu, I like to do deity worship, and I like to listen to classes. But then in all this, I lose the contact of reading a physical book like Srimad Bhagavatam. I listen to class, but how important it is to actually pick up the book and read vis-a-vis all the other services and things.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Ityadi. The process is hearing. I'm not going to be so sticky about this. If you have to listen while you're driving, for example, fine, but hear something. If you, for whatever reason, if you want to pick up the book and read it, if you prefer that, great, no problem, do it. But the point is to hear. The thing is that usually what happens is that when we just hear other things, we're not hearing from Prabhupada. We're hearing from somebody else. And that person may or may not have flaws. But if you pick up Srila Prabhupada's book and read that, you're going to get Srila Prabhupada's association. Zarur. And, that's the best association that you can get. You know what he said about his books? He said, these purports are my devotional ecstasies. And you can see it many times. It's very clear in many cases that you have to read every day. And, it gets easier and easier to read every day, and it gets sweeter and sweeter to read every day, and it gets deeper and deeper every day. So, we just have to determine ourselves to do that. But if you have to listen to something instead of read, that's okay. Just hear something. And here's another secret. Whatever you hear, you repeat that to someone else. Then it becomes fixed in your heart. Otherwise, too often it goes like this.
Just a follow-up question on this one. So in your personal life, what is your practice? Like, you would chant first in the morning, or would you read something and then chant, or you would chant some and read some and then chant again, just trying to get some.
To be honest, you know what I do? When I get up in the morning, I often read something first. Because the mind is all, all this nonsense in our minds during our dreams and so many mode of ignorance, right? Just to wake up. Yeah, well, of course, the first thing we do is we chant the holy name. We, pay obeisances, we touch the earth, all these things. But, it's a good idea for me. I like to hear first, because once the day starts, who knows what's going to happen? You never know. At least, if I have to die today, then at least I've already done my reading for the day. Right? So, just whenever you can, just hear. Just take any opportunity. I always like to take the first opportunity. But, Prabhupada actually told us you should read an hour a day. And he said if you can read more than that, that's an austerity, but it's a very healthy one. Very good. But, just hear whatever you do. One verse, I'm okay with that. Vaisheshika Prabhu has this chapter a day program, right? So, chant one chapter. Bhagavad Gita kinchita dhita ganga jalalave karnika pita sakrit api yena murari samarcha kriyate yasya yamena nacharcha. That if you've just tried to hear something, little bit from Bhagavad Gita, if you try to nicely worship Murari once, if you take a little Charanamritam, then you don't have to have an unpleasant interview with Yamaraj. Because otherwise, at the time of death, you're going to be tapped on the shoulder. Excuse me, please step this way. And you don't really have a choice. It's kind of like when the ICE agents find you, right? And you don't have your papers in order, you can be sent to the next prison in El Salvador, right? You never know. So, don't be caught like that at the time of death. Is that okay? What else? Yeah. Okay, then I guess we stop here. Thank. Jai Ho.
A quick thank you note, Prabhuji.
So all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu ki jai.
From the bottom of my heart, I really like to thank you for the wonderful and deeply inspiring class, Prabhuji, today. Very inspiring and eye-opening that we have to take action for our future generations to come. Your realization, your humility, and your pure devotion touched me far beyond words, to be honest. It felt like a true glimpse into the beauty of Krishna consciousness, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to hear from you. And I no wonder that you are a Shiksha Guru of our Shiksha Guru, Satyasar Prabhu. I forgot to mention this, but yeah, so His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu is Shiksha Guru of Satyasar Prabhu. We would also like to thank everyone who came out today with some enthusiasm and eagerness and listened to wonderful ecstatic kirtan and also a wonderful class given by Mukunda Datta Prabhu. And also, we would like to pray that we may continue to serve you and receive blessings from you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji will be here with us for next couple of days as well. And Mataji, thank you for coming and joining us here as well. Thank you so much. And then Prabhuji and Mataji will be here for next couple of days, and Prabhuji will be doing the same kirtan, similar kirtan, and similar class tomorrow at 11:45 at the temple. So please come on time. Please try to come by 11:30 so that we can get you all situated. That will be wonderful to hear from him again. And then tomorrow evening, we'll be doing the same thing again at Radha Vinod Prabhu's house. So thank you again, everyone. And as part of the next thing, we will have some prasadam for everyone. And with that, I'll say His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu ki jai.